Sean, from your point of view, what do you think the last global Irish Economic Forum actually achieved?
Well, the first thing to, I think, appreciate is what are the objectives of the forum. And the objectives are to reach out to the sons and daughters of Ireland who are influential, powerful people across the world, and also to open up to friends of Ireland who have an Irish heritage in their background. When you look at some of the countries who have done it well, Israel is a standout. Israel has huge context now into the US, as indeed do the Indians, as do the Chinese. And for me, that was the key objective. Now, it wasn't like going to Fatima looking for a miracle on the day or the weekend. It doesn't happen like that in the real life. This was an opening up to Irish people. And as a result of it, you now have an Irish global network of over 300 influential people across 40 different countries. In the past, when we talked about our contacts, it tended to be US based. We now have contacts in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, right through China, Japan, right across Europe. That was the whole purpose to me of the event, and to that extent I think it was very successful.
Do you think in any way some of the ideas were over ambitious and people had expectations above and beyond what could be achieved?
I think the expectations were very high. I mean, my own recollection of the event 2 years ago was that there was a great sense of energy. It was very positive, and there was a great sense of people wanting to help. Now, I think maybe there were too many suggestions came out of it, and I think one of the things we could learn from this time is that certainly in some of the panel discussions that will take place is that rather than having to come up with 10 ideas, let's come up with one or two real tangible ones that we can follow through.
Is there a sense that with this, it's actually something that's going to take quite a long time to establish, but the benefits from it could happen over a very, very long period of time, and that anybody who expects as a result of one of these forums that suddenly a major multinational that hasn't been here before is going to open its doors within 6 months, that those type of expectations are really far too high?
Well, again, if I could look at it from a business perspective, a lot of the work that we do every day in business may not deliver for 5 years. In fact, some of it mightn't deliver for 10 years. We have just acquired a business. We've been looking at that business for 5 or 6 years as a possible acquisition. So, in all of these things, there are certain things that can happen quickly, but the majority of things take much longer term. With what has happened quickly, as I said, there is now an Irish global network. There is an Irish Innovation Centre that has been created in Silicon Valley. Tourism Ireland came up with an idea with the slogan, "Come back to Ireland," again appealing to the diaspora to come back. And again, you'll see statistics of visitors to Ireland up this year. No doubt that helped in part. There is a Farmley scholarship programme where there are now 25 Irish students as of today studying in Singapore, doing business in Asia. These all came out of, we have an IFSC spokesperson in John Bruton, who has done remarkable work as Ireland went through its banking crisis and getting the message out of there. These are all issues that have come through in the short term. When you look on the longer term about a multinational coming into Ireland, I don't think went too firmly with the expectation that we were going to have a multinational creating jobs in Ireland within a very short period of time as a result of it. Do I think it could happen 5 years from now? I would hope and I would expect, and I would be delighted if it happened. I'll give you another example of something that came out of it. There was an idea around an Irish heritage certificate. That was an idea that came out of it to extend out to those who couldn't qualify for an Irish passport or Irish citizenship, but where they did want to be identified with Ireland, that they would get a heritage certificate. And I noticed as late as last week that an Irish company has announced the creation of 60 jobs because they have just won the contract for processing these certificates. So there are short-term benefits, but it's very, very much a long-term opening up to Irish friends, sons and daughters of Ireland, and building for the future.